The rain lashed against the windshield like accusations from an unforgiving sky, turning the streets of downtown Chicago into a slick, treacherous maze. Professor Alex Rivera gripped the steering wheel tighter, his knuckles white, as the gala's glowing marquee flickered into view through the storm. Harrington University's centennial celebration, a glittering facade for old money and older secrets. He wasn't here for the champagne toasts or the hollow speeches. He was here to confront the ghost of a love long buried, and one whispered name could unearth it all. "Your name isn't on the list," the security guard growled, his voice cutting through the downpour like a blade. The man loomed in the doorway of the grand ballroom, raincoat dripping, eyes scanning Alex with the cold precision of someone who'd turned away dreamers before. Alex's heart hammered, not from fear, but from the weight of 20 years pressing down, the betrayal, the silence, the life he'd rebuilt from ashes. But then Alex leaned in, water streaming from his dark curls, and murmured a single name that hung in the air like thunder: Elias Hawthorne. The guard's face drained of color, his clipboard forgotten in the puddle at his feet. In that instant, the doors swung wide, and Alex stepped into a world unraveling at the seams. Inside, the ballroom pulsed with the low hum of privilege, crystal chandeliers casting golden halos over tuxedos and gowns, laughter echoing off marble floors polished to a mirror sheen. Alex smoothed his rented suit, feeling like an intruder in his own skin. At 42, he was no longer the idealistic grad student who'd fallen hard for Elias all those years ago in the dusty archives of the history department. That Alex had been bold, unscarred, whispering promises under the elms of the quad. This Alex carried scars, 10-year battles fought in whispers, colleagues who smiled to his face but sneered behind closed doors, a string of relationships that fizzled under the pressure of his guarded heart. He scanned the crowd, pulse quickening. There, across the sea of faces, was Elias, taller now, silver threading his once jet hair, but those piercing blue eyes unchanged, still capable of unraveling souls. Elias Hawthorne, now the university's president, stood at the podium, mid-speech about legacy and progress, his voice smooth as aged whiskey. The irony burned. Progress from a man who'd once shattered Alex's world with a single choice. It had started innocently enough, that humid September in 2003. Alex, fresh from undergrad in California, arrived at Harrington with dreams of decoding forgotten queer histories in pre-Stonewall America. Elias, the enigmatic TA with a thesis on colonial power dynamics, had caught his eye in seminar, tall, brooding, with a laugh that cut through academic drudgery like sunlight. Their first real conversation happened over coffee in the library's forgotten corner, debating Foucault while their knees brushed under the table. "You're dangerous," Elias had teased, his fingers lingering on Alex's wrist. "You make me question everything." What followed was a whirlwind. Stolen kisses in empty lecture halls, weekend getaways to Lake Michigan where they'd lie on pebble beaches, hands intertwined, dreaming of a future where love didn't hide. Elias spoke of coming out to his family, the conservative Hawthornes of Boston old money, pillars of Harrington's board. Alex believed him, poured his soul into every touch, every whispered vow. But when Elias's father died suddenly that winter, the facade cracked. Board meetings turned into ultimatums. Marry well, secure the legacy, bury the phase. Elias chose silence, then distance, then a curt email. This was a mistake. Don't contact me. Alex had left Chicago shattered, piecing himself back in Boston's adjunct mills, then rising through sheer grit to tenure at a small liberal arts college. He'd come out fully, mentored queer students, written books that chipped at the heteronormative monolith. Yet the scar ached, especially tonight, when an anonymous letter arrived at his office. "Elias needs you." The list knows. It was cryptic and signed, but the postmark screamed Chicago. Now, weaving through the crowd, Alex felt eyes on him, curious, appraising. Whispers rippled. The gay professor from out east, the one who'd caused a stir in the 90s rumors. He ignored them, zeroing in on Elias, who stepped down from the podium to thunderous applause. Their eyes met across the room, and time fractured. Elias froze, champagne flute halfway to his lips, color fleeing his face. Alex saw it, the flicker of recognition, then raw, unguarded pain. Alex, Elias breathed when he reached him, voice barely above the jazz quartet's swell. Up close, the years showed, fine lines around those eyes, a weariness in his posture. What are you doing here? You invited me, remember? Alex's tone was steel-wrapped in silk, masking the tremor in his chest. Or was that before you erased me? Elias's jaw tightened, glancing at the cluster of donors nearby, silver-haired men in bow ties, women with pearls like armor. Not here, please. But Alex wasn't the boy who'd begged anymore. Why the letter, Elias? If I'm such a ghost, why summon me now? Elias's hand grazed his arm, a spark that jolted them both. Later, meet me in the East Wing Library. Midnight. As Elias melted back into the throng, Alex nursed a scotch at the bar, the burn steadying his nerves. Conversations buzzed around him, faculty gossip, endowment boasts. Then she appeared, Lila Voss, Elias's right-hand dean, a sharp-eyed woman in emerald silk who'd clawed her way up from adjunct to power broker. Alex knew her by reputation, ally on paper, ice queen in practice, rumored to have quashed queer initiatives with budget cuts. Professor Rivera, she purred, sliding onto the stool beside him, her smile all teeth. Elias mentioned you'd drop by. Nostalgic, isn't it? Harrington hasn't changed much. Some things evolve, Alex replied evenly, though her gaze dissected him, like recognizing when history repeats. She laughed, low and knowing. Careful with that. Elias's enemies who'd love to drag up old dirt. That list you bypassed? It's not just names, it's leverage. Her words hung like smoke, but before Alex could press, the lights dimmed for the keynote. Elias returned to the stage, but his speech faltered, eyes darting to Alex. Midway through, a slide projected, archival photos of Harrington's founders, stern men in sepia tones. One caught Alex's breath, a daguerreotype of two men, arms linked, gazes tender in a way that screamed forbidden. Our past is checkered, Elias said, voice steadying. But from shadows, we build light. The applause was polite, but Alex saw the undercurrent, murmurs of discomfort from the old guard. As the crowd dispersed for dessert, Alex slipped away, the East Wing Library calling like a siren's song. The university's heart, it was a Gothic relic of oak shelves and leather-bound tomes, moonlight filtering through stained glass. He arrived early, pacing the Persian rugs, ghosts of their youth whispering from the shadows. Footsteps echoed, Elias, alone, door clicking shut behind him. You shouldn't have come, Elias started, but his voice cracked, betraying him. He crossed the room in 3 strides, stopping inches away, the air thick with unsaid words. Then why the letter? Alex demanded, closing the gap until their breaths mingled. 20 years, Elias. I rebuilt without you. Why now? Elias's eyes glistened, hand rising to cup Alex's cheek, a touch so familiar it stole his air. Because I'm dying, Alex. Pancreatic. 6 months, maybe less. And that list. It's not what you think. The words landed like a gut punch. Alex staggered back, world tilting. What list? The guard. A fabrication, Elias confessed, sinking into an armchair, deflating before Alex's eyes. To keep out threats. But you. Your name was never on it because I couldn't bear to see it. The letter was from me, anonymous, because I needed to see you one last time. To apologize. Apologize. The word ignited fury long banked. You destroyed me. I loved you. Fiercely, openly, and you chose their shadows over us. I was weak, Elias admitted, voice raw. Father's death, the board. They threatened to expose us, ruin my career before it started. I thought protecting you meant letting go, but I never did. Every promotion, every speech on inclusion, it was penance. Alex's throat burned, anger warring with the ache of old wounds reopening. He wanted to scream, to walk away, but Elias's hand caught his, trembling. There's more. The slide tonight, that photo? It's us, metaphorically. But there's a real archive, hidden here, of queer Harrington alumni. Letters, photos, stories buried to protect legacies. I was going to reveal it all in my farewell address. But now, with this illness, and the board circling, they're coming for you. Alex pieced together, the pieces slotting into dread. Lila's warning echoed. Because of the archive? Because it threatens their precious status quo. Elias nodded, exhaustion etching deeper. They know. Whispers of blackmail, donors pulling funds. I need someone to carry it forward. Someone brave. You. The request hung heavy, a lifeline laced with thorns. Alex searched those blue eyes, seeing not just regret, but a spark, the same fire that had drawn him in decades ago. Why me? After everything. Because you never stopped fighting, Elias whispered, thumb tracing Alex's jaw. And because I never stopped loving you. The admission cracked something in Alex, tears blurring the lamplight. He pulled Elias close, their embrace fierce, bodies remembering what words couldn't mend. Lips brushed, not in passion, but in sorrow's tender ache, a seal on fractured vows. They held on as the clock struck 1, the storm outside mirroring the one within. But peace was fleeting. A knock shattered the hush, sharp, insistent. Elias tensed, pulling away. Hide the papers, he hissed, shoving a leather portfolio into Alex's hands. Yellowed letters, faded photos spilling like secrets. The door creaked open, revealing Lila, her smile serpentine in the dim glow. Elias, darling, the board's asking for you. And Professor Rivera, lingering so late. Her eyes flicked to the shadows where Alex crouched behind a shelf, heart thundering. Elias stepped forward, blocking her view. Just reminiscing. He'll see himself out. Lila's laugh chilled the air. Reminiscing can be dangerous, especially with histories unearthed. She lingered, gaze probing, then swept out, leaving venom in her wake. When she was gone, Elias turned to Alex, face ashen. You have to go? Now. Take the portfolio, get it to safety. Publish it, expose them. For us. Alex clutched the bundle, resolve hardening amid the grief. And you? What about? I'll fight from here. Elias cut in, voice stealing. But promise me, don't let them win. Their goodbye was a ghost of a kiss, foreheads pressed, breaths sinking in silent plea. Alex slipped into the night, rain washing his face as he raced to his car, portfolio under his coat like a beating heart. The drive back to his hotel blurred in sobs and fury, Elias's confession replaying, dying, loving, and trusting. Dawn broke gray over the lake, and Alex spread the archive on his bed. Dozens of lives. A 1920s dean and his lover's coded poems, a 1960s protester's arrest record, notes from Stonewall sympathizers who'd funded scholarships in secret. Each page pulsed with defiance, mirroring his own buried pain. But woven through were Elias's annotations, margins filled with for Alex scrawls, timelines of his quiet advocacy, proof he'd never fully erased them. A knock jolted him. Hotel staff? No. The door swung to reveal Jordan Hale, Alex's closest friend and colleague, drenched from the trek, eyes wide with worry. Jordan, a trans man in his 30s with a beard that hid surgical scars and a laugh that disarmed bigots, had insisted on flying out when Alex's emails turned cryptic. You look like hell, Jordan said, dropping his bag. Spill. Over coffee in the cramped room, Alex poured it out. The gala, the guard, the name, the archive, Elias's illness. Jordan listened, face cycling through shock, rage, tenderness. They'd met 5 years back at a conference, bonded over shared scars. Jordan's transition battles in academia, Alex's endless coming-out wars. Friendship had deepened to something unspoken, nights of vulnerability, hands held through breakdowns, but Alex's Elias-haunted heart had kept it platonic. This is huge, Jordan breathed, flipping through the papers. Queer history, unfiltered, but dangerous. If the board's circling, they'll come for you too. I know, Alex admitted, slumping. But I can't walk away. Not again. Jordan's hand covered his, warm and steady. Then we don't. Together. I've got contacts, publishers, activists. We'll make it bulletproof. Their eyes locked, and in that gaze, Alex saw not just allyship, but the quiet love Jordan had offered for years, patient amid his ghosts. Guilt twisted. Had he been blind? Or scared? Jordan, Later, Jordan murmured, squeezing. First, we fight. The day blurred into strategy, scanning documents, emailing allies, Jordan's laptop a war room. But by afternoon, trouble brewed. A call from Harrington's PR office, veiled threats about unauthorized access. Lila's handiwork. Alex's phone buzzed next. An unknown number, Elias's voice faint. They're onto the portfolio. Get out of Chicago. Now. Panic surged. Alex and Jordan bolted, tossing bags into the rental car, tires screeching onto the expressway. Rain had eased to mist, but tension thickened the air. Where to? Jordan asked, glancing in the rearview. Boston, Alex decided. My office, safe deposit there. Miles ticked by, conversation dipping into depths. Jordan shared his own buried wound. A family dissolution post-transition. The lover who'd bailed when visibility spiked. I get the ghosts, he said softly. But don't let them steal your now. Alex nodded, throat tight. You've been my now, Jordan. I was too afraid to see it. A smile cracked Jordan's worry. Afraid's okay, as long as we face it. But fate twisted cruelly. Near the Indiana border, blue lights flashed, state trooper, pulling them over for a routine check. The officer, burly with a mustache like a throwback, eyed their out-of-state plates, then Alex's California ID. Step out, please. Heart sinking, Alex complied, Jordan murmuring, stay calm. The cop patted him down, hand lingering too long on his coat, the portfolio's outline. What's this? Personal papers, Alex said, voice even. The officer smirked, pulling it free. Looks official. Mind if I take a peek? Legally, no, but the glint in his eye screamed prejudice. As he rifled through, whistling low at the queer relics, Alex's blood boiled. Those are private. Return them. Private, huh? Funny, university seal here. Might need to call it in. The cop's radio crackled, and Alex caught the undertone. Harrington Connections, favors called. Jordan leaned from the car. Officer, we're faculty. This is research. Research on what, exactly? The man dangled a photo. Two men embracing in 1940s garb. His sneer deepened. Pervert history lesson? Rage ignited. Alex snatched for the portfolio, but the cop shoved him back, hard, against the car. Pain bloomed in his shoulder, breath whooshing out. Jordan exploded from the vehicle. Don't touch him. Chaos erupted. Shoves, shouts, the cop's hand on his holster. Back off, freak. He barked at Jordan's beard and pronouns unspoken. Bystanders gawked from passing cars, phones out. Then, a voice sliced through. Enough. Elias, impossibly, there, stepping from a trailing sedan, face gaunt but commanding. Officer, that's my archivist. Those documents are mine. The cop faltered, recognizing the university president from news clips. Mr. Hawthorne? This. Misunderstanding. Elias cut in, smooth authority masking his frailty. He plucked the portfolio free, handing it to Alex with a nod. Carry on. As the cop slunk away, tail between legs, Elias sagged against the hood, coughing into a handkerchief, blood-flecked. Tracked your phone, he gasped. Couldn't let them take you. You idiot. Alex choked, gripping his arm. You're supposed to be resting. Elias's smile was wry. Rest is for the dead, which I'm not yet. Jordan hovered, eyes flicking between them. Understanding dawning, no jealousy, just quiet support. We need a plan B, somewhere off-grid. They piled into Elias's car, the professor's sedan tailing. Destination, a cabin Elias owned upstate, a forgotten retreat from grad school days. The drive north wound through farmlands, tension easing into fragile camaraderie. Stories flowed, Elias recounting boardroom battles, Jordan sharing transition triumphs, Alex bridging with tales of students he'd saved from despair. At the cabin, wood smoke and pine welcomed them, a bubble against the storm. Over stew Jordan whipped up, truths deepened. Elias confessed the illness's toll, isolation, regrets piling like snow. I pushed you away to protect you, but it poisoned me. Alex reached across the table, fingers lacing with his. And I armored up so tight, I nearly missed this. His gaze shifted to Jordan. Both of you. Jordan's cheeks warmed, but he met it head on. Love's not a zero-sum, Alex. Room for ghosts and futures. The night stretched, fire crackling as they poured over the archive. Patterns emerged, a network of hidden allies, including Lila's predecessor, a closeted lesbian dean who'd funneled funds to queer causes. Twists upon twists. One letter implicated a current board member in a 1980s scandal, suppressing AIDS research for optics. Dawn brought peril. A call. Anonymous tip. Bored goons en route. Tipped by Lila. Burn it all, Elias urged, but Alex refused. No more hiding. They digitized furiously, Jordan uploading to secure clouds, Elias dictating a manifesto, his final address, outing the hypocrisies. As engines rumbled distant, they fled again, scattering copies. One to Alex's Boston vault, one to Jordan's activist network, Elias retaining the original. The chase peaked on a fog-shrouded backroad. SUVs barreling, headlights like predators. Elias drove, knuckles white, Alex navigating, Jordan on phone rallying reinforcements. Queer journalists, lawyers. A blockade forced them off-route, tires crunching gravel toward a ravine overlook. Cornered, they stood firm, Elias in front, voice booming into the night. This ends now. The archive lives. Our stories do. Headlights swerved as sirens wailed. State police, not board muscle. Lila's overreach, it turned out. Her own skeletons unearthed by a mole, donors fleeing her grasp. In the standoff's chaos, truths spilled. Elias revealing his illness publicly via live stream Jordan rigged. The archive teaser flashing worldwide. Backlash roared. Headlines screaming, Harrington's queer reckoning. Protests swelling on campus. Lila resigned in disgrace, board purging enablers. Elias's health rallied briefly on the wave of support, letters flooding from alumni, echoing the archive's voices. In the aftermath, healing wove tentative threads. Elias stepped down, but not before his address, a masterclass in vulnerability, crediting Alex and Jordan. Love, he said, eyes on them, is the revolution we inherit. Alex and Elias rekindled slowly, walks by the lake, hands held openly, mending what time had frayed. But Jordan's place carved deeper, not rival, but anchor. One evening, under elms like their first, Alex turned to him. I love you, Jordan, for seeing me whole. Jordan's kiss was soft, affirming, a new chapter, polyamorous edges blurring old lines, all three entwined in chosen family. Months later, the archive published, bestseller, documentary fuel, igniting dialogues nationwide. Elias lingered a year, cherishing sunsets with his loves, legacy not in stone, but in stories freed. And Alex? He taught on, bolder, heart full. For in speaking one name, he'd reclaimed not just a past, but futures unbound. The autumn leaves crunched underfoot as Alex, Elias, and Jordan strolled the winding paths of Harrington's quad, the air crisp with the promise of change. It had been 6 months since the cabin standoff, and the university breathed differently now. Rainbow flags fluttering alongside the crimson banners, seminar rooms buzzing with unfiltered histories. Elias, frielier but fierce, leaned on a cane carved from Michigan oak, a gift from Jordan. Feels like coming home, he murmured, squeezing Alex's hand. Home. The word still tangled in Alex's chest, a knot of joy and grief. Elias's treatments bought time, but shadows loomed, scans, consultations, the quiet math of months. Yet in these walks, they stole eternity. Jordan recounting a student's coming out triumph, Elias sharing boardroom lore, Alex weaving it into lessons for tomorrow. Their triad drew stares, whispers from lingering conservatives, nods from allies forged in the fire. Jordan, ever the bridge, fielded them with humor. Yes, with a plot twist no one saw coming. His transition had mirrored the archive's revelations, visibility as weapon, community as shield. Late nights, as Elias slept, Alex and Jordan would curl on the cabin porch, stars wheeling overhead, unpacking the what-ifs. What if I'd said no to the gala? Alex pondered one such night, head on Jordan's shoulder. Then we'd have found another storm, Jordan replied, fingers tracing lazy circles on Alex's arm. Love's persistent like that. Elias's cough pulled them earthward mornings after, but his spirit soared. He mentored now, not from podiums, but porches, queer youth drawn to the cabin like moths, spilling stories that fed the archive sequels. One girl, Miah, non-binary and navigating family fallout, reminded Alex of his younger self. You make the impossible feel scripted, she told Elias, eyes shining. But cracks spidered. Lila, exiled to consulting shadows, plotted return. Leaks to tabloids twisting the triad as scandalous excess, donors wavering. A fresh threat. A rival university poaching Elias's contacts, dangling cures abroad if he distanced from the drama. Elias wavered, alone in his study one dawn. Alex found him pouring flight itineraries, face etched with old guilt. "I won't drag you down," Elias said, voice hollow. "Go to Zurich. Experimental trial. Alone." Fury and fear collided in Alex. "Drag us? This is us, Elias. All or nothing." Jordan, entering with coffee, set it down firm. "He's right. We've built this. No solo acts." The argument stretched hours, voices rising then softening, truths bared like the archive's pages. Elias confessed the terror, leaving them with half-lives, his body a betrayer. "I chose wrong once. Can't again." "You chose us now," Alex countered, pulling him close. Jordan joined, arms encircling, a fortress of three. By noon, tickets shredded, resolve renewed. Zurich waited, but on their terms, a family pilgrimage, treatments shared. The flight east crackled with nerves, but landing in Boston grounded them. Alex's college welcomed with open arms, guest lectures, a queer history symposium timed to the archive's anniversary. Crowds swelled, students chanting Elias's speech lines, alumni toasting the triad's unbreakable alliance. Yet under the cheers, tension brewed. At the symposium's gala, irony noted, Alex spotted a familiar face. Lila, schmoozing donors in a crimson gown, her smile a dagger. "Professor," she cooed, intercepting him at the bar. "Heard about Zurich. Noble, sacrificing for the cause." "Spare me," Alex snapped. "Your games end here." Her laugh tinkled. "Games? Darling, this is chess. Elias's legacy blinds him to pawns like you." She slipped him a folder, dossiers on Jordan's past activism, twisted into extremist smears. "Publish that, and Zurich vanishes." Blackmail's chill seeped in. Alex pocketed it, stomach churning, and sought Jordan amid the crowd. They huddled in an alcove, words tumbling. "She's desperate," Jordan analyzed, but hurt flickered, old wounds of being weaponized. Elias joined, reading the room's shift. "What now?" "We fight smart," Alex decided. "Turn her poison public." The plan hatched over midnight strategy, leaked the dossiers anonymously, frame as proof of ongoing suppression. Jordan's network amplified, tweets viral, op-eds firing. Lila's empire crumbled overnight, clients fleeing, her name synonymous with bigotry. Vindication tasted bittersweet. As snow dusted Boston, the triad retreated to Alex's brownstone, fireside talks delving deeper. Elias opened on his youth, closeted crushes in prep school, a brother's suicide hushed by family edict. "I vowed silence to survive. Broke us instead." Jordan shared his mirror, foster care drifts, first hormones stolen from clinics, the lover lost to transition fears. "I armored too. Thought love meant hiding pieces." Alex bridged, "We all did. But here, whole." Their bond deepened, touches evolving. Elias's hand in Jordan's during chemo waits, Alex's head on both laps in quiet eves. Not passion's blaze, but steady glow. Shared journals, inside jokes, dreams voiced aloud. Spring bloomed with breakthroughs. Zurich's trial stabilizing Elias, scans whispering hope. Back at Harrington for commencement, he keynote, voice strong. "Legacy isn't bloodlines or boardrooms. It's the loves we dare claim, the stories we free." Miah, graduating, hugged him fierce. "You gave me mine." Post-ceremony, under quad elms, the three paused. "Full circle," Elias said, eyes misting. But twists lingered. A letter arrived, and signed, like the first, coordinates to a safety deposit box in New York, final archive piece. Paranoia prickled, Lila's ghost? Or deeper rot? They drove south, city pulse quickening nerves. The box yielded gold. Elias's father's journal, confessions of his own queer youth, suppressed, fueling the Hawthorne's hypocrisy. He knew. Elias breathed, pages trembling. And buried it, like me. Closure cracked open wounds afresh. Elias raged at shadows. Alex held him through sobs. Jordan unearthed family trees, distant cousins, allies unspoken. "Your legacy's bigger," Jordan urged. Rewrite it. The revelation rippled. Press conference. Journal excerpts published. Harrington endowing a Hawthorne Queer Studies chair, in Elias's name, but chaired by Alex and Jordan jointly. Summer sweltered with weddings, queer unions on campus lawns, the triad officiating one. Two men, echoing their youth. Elias, rings in hand, choked on vows he'd once fled. I do. Now. Nights cooled with lake swims, bodies buoyant in moonlight. Touches lingered, Elias's lips on Alex's neck, Jordan's fingers in Elias's hair, a tapestry woven slow, emotional threads binding. Fall brought storm clouds anew. Elias's skin dimmed, trial faltering. Time's short, he admitted over harvest dinner, fork still. Denial warred with grace. We make it count, Alex vowed, Jordan nodding fierce. They traveled, cross-country road trip, archive stops at universities, talks drawing crowds. In San Francisco, under Golden Gate fog, they renewed informal vows. Rings exchanged, simple bands etched with unbroken. Denver's Rockies tested, Elias weakened, but Jordan's backcountry hikes, adapted, gentle, revived him. Nature doesn't judge, Jordan said, peaks echoing. Chicago closed the loop. Gala revisit, now pride-infused. Elias danced, slow, with both, crowd cheering their story. Winter whispered end. Cabin holidays, fireside carols, Miah visiting with her partner. Elias gifted journals, our volume. New Year's Eve, snow blanketing, Elias gathered them. Thank you for loving my broken parts. Dawn came quiet. He slipped away mid-embrace, peaceful. Grief tsunamied, funerals intimate, campus mourning global. Eulogies poured, Elias as icon, but Alex and Jordan knew the man, tender, flawed, redeemed. Months blurred in fog, but spring thawed. They co-chaired the chair, archive expanding, Mia's contributions, global submissions. Jordan proposed formally one quad twilight. Partners, always? Alex's yes sealed it, wedding small, under elms, Miah officiating. Years unfolded, books co-authored, students mentored, love enduring. Elias's ghost smiled and every page turned, every hand held. In speaking one name, Alex hadn't just entered a list, he'd rewritten worlds. Years folded like well-worn pages as Alex and Jordan settled into the rhythm of their shared life. The Harrington chair their anchor amid shifting tides. The brownstone in Boston, once Alex's solitary refuge, now echoed with Jordan's laughter and the clatter of dinner parties for visiting scholars. Elias's presence lingered, not in urns or altars, but in the silver frames dotting shelves, a candid from the road trip, arms linked against canyon winds, a symposium shot, Elias mid-laugh, eyes crinkling with that rare, unguarded joy. Morning had been a private tempest, public eyes respectful but prying. The media frenzy post-Elias painted them as tragic heroes, but reality was messier. Nights Alex woke gasping, Elias's cough phantom in the dark, Jordan's quiet breakdowns in the shower, beard damp with more than water. They'd leaned hard. Therapy circles with queer elders, weekends at the cabin where wind whispered Elias's quips. Now, 5 years on, the archive thrived, a digital vault expanding yearly, grants flowing, spin-off exhibits touring museums. Alex lectured on its psychologies, the resilience in coded letters, the despair in redacted lines. Jordan, with his activist bent, led workshops, from shadows to spotlights, teaching youth to archive their lives before silence claimed them. Their marriage, a quiet affair in Vermont's green hills, had woven deeper roots. No grand gestures, but daily devotions. Jordan's notes tucked in Alex's briefcase. You light the stacks. Alex's surprise hikes pulling Jordan from deadlines. Intimacy bloomed emotional, physical veils lifting slow, mornings tangled in sheets, whispers tracing scars, bodies learning new maps post-Elias. Yet undercurrents stirred. Miah, now a grad TA under them, brought fresh fire. Her thesis on trans narratives in mid-century America unearthed a bombshell. A Harrington alum, trans pioneer, whose transition funded by a secret society of queer faculty, including Elias's grandfather. Full circle hypocrisy, Miah grinned over thesis drafts, her non-binary flair, dyed undercut, pronoun pins, a badge Alex envied in his youth. The find ignited conflict. Board remnants, still stinging from Lila's fall, balked at revisionist exhibits. A new president, well-meaning but wary, called a closed meeting. Balance, professors. Donors whisper agenda. Alex's temper flared, Elias's steel rising unbidden. Balance. This is truth. Bury it, and you're no better than the ghosts we exhumed. Jordan tempered, ever diplomat. Let's collaborate. Joint panel. Your concerns, our evidence. The compromise simmered, but tension leaked. Anonymous emails arrived. Stop digging, or graves reopen. Paranoia prickled. Who? Lila, vanished but venomous? Or internal snakes? Suspicion fell inward when a donor gala leaked exhibit previews. Twisted, sensationalized. Fingers pointed at Mia's cohort, but Alex caught Jordan's distraction. Late calls, vague networking. Confrontation brewed over cabin weekend, leaves flaming autumn gold. What's eating you? Alex pressed, fire popping as Jordan stared into embers. Jordan sighed, pulling a thumb drive. Old contact, activist from my pre-transition days. Says the board's funding anti-queer lobbies quietly. Evidence here, but it's risky. Exposes friends still closeted. Alex's relief mixed relief with ache. Trust tested, but holding. Why hide? Fear, Jordan admitted. Of losing this, you, us, the work. Elias's legacy. They burned the drive's decoys, strategized release. Timed with the exhibit, whistleblower protected. The drop hit like lightning. Scandals erupting. Donors defecting. The president resigning in ethical pivot. Vindication brought Mia's star rising. Tenure track whispers. Her wedding to partner Lena, a joyous blur of toasts and dances. Alex walked her aisle. Elias's cane repurposed as bouquet holder, symbol of paths cleared. Winter deepened bonds. Jordan's surprise, a library wing dedication. Rivera Hale Hall, shelves groaning with global queer tomes. Unveiling night, snow swirling, Alex choked on speech. Elias taught us names matter. This one's ours, plural, unbreakable. But fate, ever the trickster, twisted anew. Spring scans for Jordan, routine, post-family history, flagged anomalies. Early, treatable, docs said, but the word cancer echoed Elias's ghost. Denial crashed first, then fury. Not fair. Jordan raged in clinic waits, fists clenched. Alex held, mirroring old vigils. Coffee runs, bad jokes, hands clasped till knuckles ached. Treatment loomed. Chemo cycles. The cabin a sanctuary of soups and stargazing. Miah stepped up, co-teaching loads. Lena baked care packages. Community surged. Letters from archive contributors. Stories of survival mirroring Jordan's grit. Through haze, Jordan's psyche sharpened. This isn't end. It's chapter. Right bold. Alex nodded, but fear gnawed. Losing another anchor. The triad's echo fading to duo. Nights, he'd trace Jordan's fading beard. Whisper, stay. We need your punchlines. Remission whispered by summer, tentative but triumphant. Road trip redux, Southwest Canyons, Jordan at wheel, top down, wind whipping doubts. Stops at indigenous queer centers, dialogues deepening, colonial erasures paralleling their fights. Fall exhibit launch, packed house, Mia's trans pioneer centerpiece. Jordan keynote, voice steady. Visibility's verb, act it, live it. Crowd thundered, Alex beaming, Elias's ring glinting on his chain. Yet shadows crept. Lila resurfaced, op-ed in conservative rags, smearing the archive as indoctrination. Her byline, consultant to a reform PAC, targeting queer ed nationwide. Counterstrike brewed, documentary premiere, Elias's journal narrated by Jordan, Miah directing. Red carpet buzzed, celebs, activists, Lila's pack crumbling under exposure. Winter solstice, cabin lit with lanterns, they reflected. Twists keep coming. Jordan mused, head on Alex's lap. But we bend, not break, Alex replied, kissing his temple. Spring bloomed Jordan's book, threads unraveled. Memoirs weaving transition, love, loss. Bestseller, tours pulling them global, London panels, Tokyo archives. Years spun, Miah tenured, her kid a quad toddler chasing leaves. Alex and Jordan adopted advisory roles, mentoring from afar, cabin summer sacred. Decades mark, Elias Memorial Hike, peaks renamed in his honor. Summit views endless, Jordan quipped. He'd say, "Don't name mountains, climb 'em." Alex laughed, arm around him. We did. Together. Legacy pulsed. Archives worldwide, dialogues unending. In one name spoken, worlds remade. Not perfect, but profoundly theirs. The decades in brought a hush to the brownstone. Snow muffling Boston's bustle as Alex and Jordan marked Elias's passing with quiet ritual. A single flame on the mantle, archive pages read aloud like spells. Mia's child, now a lanky preteen, named Riley with Lena's curls and Mia's fire, joined via video, reciting lines from the journal. Uncle Elias says hi from the stars. Riley beamed, easing the ache. Life's weave tightened. Jordan's book spawned sequels, speaking tours evolving to keynotes at UN forums on queer heritage. Alex, graying at temples, dove into AI ethics, preserving digital archives from erasure algorithms, a battle Elias would have relished debating over scotch. Their love, matured like fine wine, held depths. Anniversaries in Vermont, vows renewed with wildflowers. Lazy Sundays curating playlists, Jordan's folk strums harmonizing Alex's hummed classics. Intimacy remained sanctuary, slow dances in kitchens, bodies mapped by time's gentle hands, emotions the true fire. But equilibrium quivered. Riley's school project unearthed a fresh archive thread. 1970s Harrington nurses, queer women shielding AIDS patients from board cutoffs. Interviews revealed a survivor, Evelyn, Elias's former mentor, bedbound but sharp, summoning them to her assisted living in Philly. The drive south hummed with anticipation. Evelyn, 80-something with silver bob and eyes like lasers, gripped Alex's hand. He was my brightest mistake. Pushed too hard to closet, lost him to it. Her tales spilled, secret societies, coded endowments, a rival faction still lurking in alumni wings. Clue Trail led to a gala invite. Harrington's sesquicentennial, ironies layered thick. Go, Evelyn urged. Expose the holdouts. Reluctance warred, old wounds smarted. Jordan, ever bold, nodded. For her. For us. The event glittered same as memory, chandeliers, champagne flutes, but banners now rainbow-threaded. Alex scanned for threats, Jordan charming clusters with trans allyship stats. Then, a face from Fog, Lila's protege, young Turk named Victor, slick in bespoke suit, cornering donors with traditional values murmurs. Eavesdropping yielded gold, whispers of a purge fund, targeting progressive faculty. Victor's slip, like Hawthorne's folly, and same. Fury simmered. They tailed him to a private lounge, bursting in mid-conspiracy huddle, 5 suits, maps of budget slashes. Phones out, Jordan live-streamed. Harrington's underbelly live. Chaos detonated. Shouts, scuffles, security swarming. Victor lunged for the phone. Alex blocked, shoulder-popping old injury. Not tonight, he growled, Elias's steel channeling. Exits clogged. They fled to the library. East Wing haunt, barricading with tomes. Alerts blared, campus police en route, but ally faculty mobilizing, Miah rallying students outside. Standoff stretched hours, negotiations tense. Victor, cuffed but sneering, spat. Your relics. Times change back. Jordan's retort cut. Times evolve. Deal with it. Dawn broke with arrests. Victor and Cabal charged with conspiracy. Purge fund frozen. Press frenzy dubbed it Archive 2, The Reckoning. Evelyn's interviews fueling exposés. Afterglow brought Evelyn's passing, peaceful, portfolio in lap. Her funeral swelled with nurses' descendants, a choir singing coded anthems from her era. Summer healed, cabin rebuild, eco-upgrades Jordan spearheaded, solar panels, native gardens honoring indigenous queer erased in colonial logs. Riley summered there, learning flora from Miah, coding archives with Alex. Fall conferences pulsed. Berlin's Queer Digital Summit, Alex and Jordan paneling on preservation in peril. Q&A twist, a hacker collective offering tools. AI guardians against deepfakes erasing histories. Collaboration sparked. Back home, nights blurred in code and coffee. Jordan's logic meshing Alex's narratives. Breakthrough, an app, Echo Vault, crowdsourcing secure uploads, gamified for youth. Launch party buzzed, Riley demoing, Miah moderating. But glitch, early access leak, trolls flooding with hate uploads. Crisis mode, Jordan debugging, Alex moderating, community voting down venom. Resolution forged stronger, Echo Vault boomed, partnerships global. Lila's final gasp, anonymized pack suit, dismissed as frivolous, her exile complete. Winter's gift, Jordan's sabbatical, Paris fellowship. They wandered sane bridges, croissants crumbling as they debated Foucault anew. Elias's ghost grinning. Alex proposed extension. Greece next? Archive roots. Jordan's yes led to Athens digs. Ancient queer pottery shards. Parallels to their fights timeless. Return brought Riley's crisis. School bullying. Transphobe teacher echoing Victor's ilk. Miah pulled strings. Transfer, lawsuit brewing. But Alex and Jordan stepped in. Mentorship circles, Echo Vault modules for schools. Victories stacked. Teacher ousted. Riley thriving in new pod. Art echoing Evelyn's resilience. Spring wedding season. Miah and Lena renewing. Riley ring bearer. Alex's toast. Love's archive. Endless edits. Eternal ink. Yet under joy's health shadow. Alex's checkup flagged hypertension. Stress's toll. Slow down. Jordan urged. Massages turning therapy. They did. Sabbatical swap. Jordan teaching light. Alex curating solo. Cabin idols deepened. Stargazing philosophies. Jordan's telescope unveiling galaxies named for lost loves. Fall's Harvest Festival. Local queer farm co-op. Fruits of labor literal. Dance floor spins. Alex twirling Jordan. Laughter bubbling free. Decades close circled. Sesquicentennial reflection panel. Alex and Jordan headlining. Crowd vast. Riley stage managing. Slides flashed. Elias, Evelyn, Miah's pioneers. A lineage unbroken. Q&A vulnerability. How endure? A student asked. Jordan. Each other. Always. Alex. And the names we speak. Loud. Unapologetic. Legacy rippled. Echo Vault million strong. Global nodes. In one name's echo. Revolutions whispered eternal. The new millennium's cusp felt less like apocalypse and more like affirmation as Alex and Jordan entered their 60s, silver threading their hair like archive footnotes, addendums to lives richly annotated. The brownstone, expanded with a garden suite for Riley's visits, hummed with echoes. Grandchildren's patter, Mia's twins, chaotic cherubs, Jordan's ongoing podcast dissecting queer media myths. Echo Vault had metastasized into a movement. UN-backed, apps in a dozen languages, youth coders interning under Jordan's wing. Alex's latest tome, Whispers Amplified, dissected psychological arcs of outing, from Elias's closet to global prides, case studies laced with their triads unspoken chapters. Love's evolution was poetry in motion, anniversaries now marathons, Vermont vows to Paris haunts to Athens Acropolis's revisited. Bedroom intimacies softened to sensual symphonies, oil rubs under candlelight, narratives shared mid-caress, bodies temples honored slow. Conflicts simmered subtle. Riley, now college-bound in gender studies, clashed with a prof reviving balance rhetoric, Victor's ideological spawn. It's gaslighting 101. Riley vented over Thanksgiving turkey, pronouns he slash him solid but spirit fluid. Alex mentored, document. Echo vaulted. Jordan added tech. Blockchain your beef. Immutable. Riley's expose trended. Prof sidelined. Sparking campus policy shifts. Mandatory bias training. Queer-led curricula. Global ripples tugged. Echo Vault invite to Davos. Queer panel amid billionaires. Alex keynote on digital erasure's cost. Jordan demoing safeguards. Backlash brewed. Tech mobiles dismissing as niche, but viral clips amplified, partnerships secured. Personal quake. Jordan's knee surgery, Transitions long haul wear. Recovery cabin bound. Alex playing nurse. Soups. Stories. Hikes on canes matching Elias's old prop. Symmetry. Jordan joked. Pain masked in wit. Healing unearthed depths. Jordan confessing pre-triad doubts. Feared-eyed fade next to Elias's blaze. Alex reassured. You're the steady sun. He was Comet. Spring thawed mobility. Co-leading a Echo Vault retreat. Queer elders and Zoomers bonding over bonfires. Tales bridging generations. Evelyn's spirit echoed in a elder's yarn. 1950s bar raids. Survival coded in songs. Retreat twist. A participant's find. Lost reel of 1969 Stonewall footage. Harrington ties via a donor's kin. Digitized frenzy ensued. Premiere planned for Pride. Pride Month exploded. NYC March. Alex and Jordan Grand Marshals. Riley marching beside. Floats blasted Echo Vault anthems. Confetti raining like archive confetti. Shredded silences. Post-march quiet. Central Park picnic. Twins napping. Miah toasting. To the Weavers. Fall sabbatical. Iceland's geysers. Geothermal baths mirroring inner heats. Aurora views sparked philosophies. Jordan. Lights dance free. Us too. Return crisis. Brownstone flood. Basement archives threatened. Scrambles saved most, but losses stung. Elias's handwritten margins. Water warped. Jordan's salvage. Scars tell stories too. Rebuild brought innovation. Climate-proof vaults. Jordan consulting green tech. Holiday party celebrated. Riley's internship abroad. Twins' first queer story time. Winter's gift. Honorary degrees. Alex for psych lit. Jordan for digital activism. Commencement shared stage. Speeches intertwined. Alex on heart's resilience. Riley beaming front row. Yet shadows lengthened. Alex's hypertension spiked. Doc ordering rest. Delegate. Jordan urged, but Alex chafed. Workaholic's curse. Enforced pause. European rail pass. Lazy cars through Alps. Vignettes. Swiss chocolate debates. Italian operas weeping their plots. Jordan's knee held. Alex's pressure eased in Riley's hush. Holmes' pull. Echo Vault crisis. Cyber attack. Trolls deploying deepfakes smearing contributors. Jordan's war room. Coders rallied. AI countermeasures deployed. Victory parade. Hackers traced to Lila's old pack remnants. Shutdowns cascading. Spring bloom. Mia's promotion. Department head. Dinner toasts. From student to sentinel. Riley's graduation. Dual degrees. Thesis on polyamory and queer lit. Nod to their triad. Alex's walk down aisle. Jordan's whoop. Tears mutual. Summer cabin legacy project. Oral history booth. Elders recording for Echo Vault. One vet. Vietnam queer survivor. Broke Alex. Hid to serve. Served in hiding. Fall conference. Tokyo's Digital Heritage Expo. Panels on AI ethics. Twist. Collab with Japanese queer archivists. World War II internee stories paralleling Harrington's. Winter solstice. Lantern release. Lights for Lost. Elias. Evelyn. Unknowns. Riley's poem. Names flicker, but fires endure. New Year dawned collaborative. Echo Vault Metaverse. Virtual realms for safe storytelling. Beta launch wild. Avatars dancing forbidden waltzes. Chats healing across oceans. Personal milestone. Alex's memoir draft. Jordan editing with brutal love. Deeper on the fear, babe. Publishing whirlwind. Launches in 6 cities. Reviews lauding intimate epic. Decades weave. Twins starting school. Riley's engagement to a coder activist. Engagement party quad held. Elm's witnesses eternal. Legacy's pulse. Echo Vault billions accessed. UN resolutions citing. In names spoken across voids. Revolutions holographed forever. Twilight years arrived not with fanfare but a gentle settling. Like dust on cherished volumes. As Alex and Jordan crossed 70. The brownstone a museum of their makings. Shelves bowed under awards. Walls tapestried with Riley's art and Mia's photos. Grandkids, the twins now tweens with Mia's curiosity and Lena's steel, dubbed it Grandpa Fort, rating for story hours where Echo Vault tales came alive via holograms Jordan tinkered. Health's ledger balanced precariously. Alex's pressure managed with yoga and Jordan's herbal teas. Jordan's knee swapped for titanium, mobility a defiant strut. Love's ledger overflowed. Golden anniversaries and golden hour hikes. Notes evolving to voice memos. Miss your snore already. Sent from solo gigs. Echo Vault's empire spanned continents. Satellites beaming to remote villages. VR tours of Stonewall ghosts. Alex consulted on ethics boards, vetting AI for bias. Jordan, gray beard iconic. Keynote TEDs on digital kinship. Family fractures tested. Riley's wedding planning hit snags. Partners conservative kin balking at non-traditional vows. Riley vented. Echoes of my school crap. Intervention gentle. Alex hosting kin dinners. Jordan sharing transition bridges. Breakthrough. Vows customized. Poly nods woven. Kin thawing over toasts. Global grind. Echo Vault subpoena. Government probing subversive content. War room redux. Lawyers. Allies. Public campaigns. Win narrow but sweet. Precedent for digital rights. Personal pivot. Alex's vision dimming. Macular whispers. Jordan adapted. Audiobooks curated. Cabin trails brailled. See with heart. He quipped, guiding hands to wildflowers. Summer idol. Grandkids camp. Stories under stars. Elias as legend. The namesayer. Fall furor. Lila's death notice. Obituary sanitized. But Riley's dig unearthed final venom. Unpublished manifesto decrying queer overreach. Jordan, burn or bury? Alex chose publish, annotated, contextualized. Truth disarms. Release rippled. Debates ignited. Lila recast as cautionary. Echo Vault hosting rebuttal forums. Winter warmth. Twins bar mitzvah / bat mitzvah hybrid. Queer inclusive. Alex and Jordan officiating subsets. Speeches soared. Heritage hybrid. Yours to hybridize. Spring surprise. Riley's pregnancy announcement. Non-binary parent navigating joys and jitters. Mia's circle swelled supportive. Alex and Jordan stocking shelves with gender-neutral tomes. Echo Vault expansion. Prenatal module. Queer family archives. Riley beta testing. Ultrasounds synced to story uploads. Crisis crest. Cyberstorm 2.0. State-sponsored hacks targeting elders' uploads. Jordan's coders countered, but told personal. A beloved contributor's story wiped, dementia deepening her loss. Memorial hackathon. Coders rebuilding, Alex eulogizing. Data dies, spirit streams. Summer solace. Iceland redux. Geysers still geysering, auroras dancing for grand twins en route. Fall fellowship. Honorary knighthoods. Sir Jordan, Professor Emeritus Alex, for cultural preservation. Ceremony absurdly British, tea and toasts, Riley live streaming. Winter's whisper, Alex's cough persistent, Doc's probing lungs. Biopsy benignish, scarring from old gala shove, but shadow lingered. Jordan's vigil, we've outrun worse. New decade dawned resilient. Echo Vault Mars mission collab, archiving for colonists, queer futures off-world. Family flourish, Riley's child born, named Eliana, Elias Echo. Christening cabin held, waters from Lake Michigan. Alex's cradle rock, welcome, little archivist. Years blurred benevolent. Twins graduations, Riley's tenure, grand twins' first steps on quad grass. Legacy's lighthouse, Echo Vault Nobel nod, Peace Prize, for fostering dialogues across divides. Ceremony Oslo, Alex and Jordan, Kane's synced, accepting. Speech duet, Jordan, we saved stories. Alex, stories saved us. Twilight deepened. Brownstone downsized. Cabin primary. Gardens Jordan wheeled through. Alex dictating memoirs to Riley. Final fall. Grand twin school play. Queer fairy tale. Elias inspired. Stage whispers. And the name they spoke? It unlocked the world. Winter's end. Alex fading. Pneumonia's grip. Bedside throng. Miah, Riley, Eliana on lap. Jordan's hand in his. Go gentle, love. We'll follow. Dawn claimed him. Peaceful. Jordan's lullaby fading. Grief's gale softened spring. Memorial under elms. Holograms of Alex dancing. Jordan keynote. He taught endurance. Live it. Years post. Jordan 85. Echo Vault Steward, Grand Twins in Turning. Cabin Evenings, Elias and Alex Ghosts in Firelight. Riley's Book, Triad Eternal, their saga scripted. Legacy's Loop, In One Name's Ripple, Infinities Unfolded, Love's Layered, Stories Stellar.